Okay, so I'm back home. I'm gonna tell a story. There's a lot going on right now. I have to cook dinner. Let me just put the beans on. Let me put the beans on. And my mom is in the hospital. Put my beans, I gotta wash them. But yeah, my mom's in the hospital, so I need to call and find out how she's doing. A nurse called me like in the middle of the night last night, asking me like heck of questions about like, is her speech usually slurred and all of that. So my nerves are a little frazzled right now, so I'm kind of moving. So I'm gonna call up there, and then Sade wasn't feeling good today, but she doesn't have like the sniffles or anything. I know her attitude changed a little bit. I think she might be coming up on that time, y'all. I was about to say, they rearranged my cabinets. I'm like, where the beans at? Where the beans at? Where the beans at? Where the beans at? They put them up here. Okay, so that's cool. All right, so I'm gonna let those sit for a minute. Let me go sit in the car for a minute, whatever, so I can finish telling y'all this story. So anyway, the dude says he likes me and he was feeling me, and you know, me being young and everything, I was a little gold diggish ish. Not all the way, but he was ugly. But he had a nice car. Come to find out, he had several nice cars. He had like a drop top Corvette. It was like they wasn't even out yet. It had like 7 gears. He had a Jeep Cherokee, the latest and greatest. And that's why I'm saying the homeless guy, well, not homeless guy, but the guy who I gave the box of food to, the Jeep reminded me of this guy. Not the guy, but the Jeep. So what had happened was I ended up hooking up with this guy against my better judgment because his countenance was all messed up. His energy was just not right. I introduced him to my mom, and my auntie was there, and my auntie said, and I quote, "Baby, you barking up the wrong tree." Did I listen? Nope. I was like 17, 18, maybe 19. And that, I was like, yes, I'm messing with him. So anyway, come to find out, nobody in town knew this dude. And I didn't know nothing about him either. So I asked him, like, so what do you do? He pulls out a newspaper article showing me that he was like a track star, like a runner, like he ran track. I am laughing now because it's so funny when I think about it. He was a track star. That's what he told me, that he was a track star. So at the time, I was staying with my best friend. She was older, so I would tell everybody that she was my auntie. So when I would have company, I didn't want to be disrespected. I didn't want nobody coming in my room. I was like, nope, that's against my auntie's rules. Like, you can sit down in the living room, have several seats, chill, but like at 9 o'clock, you gotta go because my auntie don't play that. So, dang, my phone rang. So I don't even know where I left off at. So, let me see. So, anyway, Lord, where was I at? Okay, so, ended up hooking up with the dude, and didn't know where he was from, never seen him in town, just knew he, like, had all these cars, and he told me he was a track star, right? A track star, really? Okay, whatever. But I believed him. Just boo-boo the fool. Boo-boo the fool. So, anyway, my auntie or best friend who I was staying with at the time, because I called myself wanting to have my own place. I ended up moving back home with my mama, but my aunt, she even was like, this dude, no, they used to call me Dre. She was like, no, Dre. And I still was like, yeah, no, he cool. And, you know, I justified it. I just justified it because I wanted to drive and ride in his nice cars. And I believed him when he told me he was a track star, because he even had the news clipping article of him running track. He looked like, what's the guy named Usain Bolt? He was like super like blue black, super duper skinny, like a skeleton. He had like buck teeth, and they had braces, and the braces were like halfway breaking off. I kid you, like, I cannot make this up. So what had happened was, the lady who I was staying with, my best friend at the time, she worked at the airport, and a man came to the airport and asked her, did she know this guy? And she said, yeah, that's my niece's boyfriend. And so, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this story. So I get home from work one day, and some strange guy is sitting in our living room, and my friend is sitting there with him, and they're all looking like super serious. And I'm like, what's going on? So the man begins to tell me that this guy is fugitive. And I'm like, what? First of all, I'm like, what's a fugitive? So he broke it down and telling me that, okay, let me run. I missed a whole big part. Okay. Before we get to that part, one day the dude called me from jail and said that he had got pulled over, and they apprehended him, like he was arrested, and that he needed me to come bail him out. And I'm like, I don't have no money to bail you out. He was like, don't worry about that. I got the money. I just need you to go pick the money up and then go to the bail bond and, you know, handle that, and so he could get out of jail. So this was all new to me, and I'm telling you, I was like, had no common sense at all whatsoever. So I, at the time, money wouldn't just bail you out. You had to have like, be on your job for a long time. You had to have like property, maybe put your house up. So I had a good job back then, and my cousin had a good job. So I convinced my cousin, my male cousin, I convinced him. And myself, we went down to the bail bond. First, we went and picked up the money from somebody. I don't even know who the person was. We picked up the money, went to the bail bond, signed the paperwork, and got him out of jail. Okay, now, fast forward to the dude at the airport comes, talks to my best friend, comes to the house. I get home. They tell me he's a fugitive, and that they know that I bailed him out of jail, and that he has what is it called, he had like warrants in like 13 counties or something. And I'm like, that's impossible, he's a track star. And the guy was like, yeah, no, he's a car thief. So that part, what he would do is he would like go to these car dealerships, get these brand new cars. I'm telling you, these are brand new cars that like not even out yet at the time. And then he would, I don't know, I guess he was maybe it was like identity theft or fraud or something. He would get these cars, and then he would sell the cars to drug dealers. And so now he not only does he have the police looking for him, bounty hunters looking for him, he has drug dealers looking for him. And the man is telling me, like, if you don't turn him in, like, you're going to jail. Like, you're going to jail. Like, you're going to jail for harboring a fugitive. Am I saying that right? And that, I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's like, first of all, he's not going to show up to his court date, because he hasn't shown up to any court dates. And my best friend was looking at me like, what you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. So anyway, she explained to the man that the boyfriend was going to be at the house at a certain time and they can come back and get him. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I could not even believe this was happening. So I was like, what to do? Do I call him? Do I warn him? The reason why I didn't is because they convinced me that if I like gave him a heads up, I was going to go to jail because I signed for him to get out. I didn't know no better. So he came over to the house and, I was so nervous. Oh my God. Next thing I know, like, my door is being broken in. My best friend, it was her apartment, her door is being broken in. People are rushing in like task force. Like, they got us all on the floor, putting us in handcuffs. He jumps off the balcony. We stayed on the second floor. He jumps off the balcony, broke both of his ankles. They got him and put him in a police car. And they took me and my friend and put us in the police car. And I am so confused. I'm like, I can't believe this happening. The neighbors are looking. My best friend, she's so upset with me. She was like, I told you this dude wasn't cool. I should have listened to that small, still voice. I should have listened to my mama. I should have listened to my auntie. But no. That's why you gotta know. You gotta watch. You gotta pay attention to a man's energy and a man's countenance. And that's why I'm saying that, because that could have got me in so much trouble. So they ended up letting us go. They took him, but they had to take him to the hospital because he broke both of his ankles. So I go up to the hospital and I'm like, dude, you're a liar. Like, why do you lie to me? Like, you're not a track star. You're a car thief. All he could do was apologize. Man, I'm telling you, when I look back on that, I just thank God that he brought me through and brought me this far. And so that is a lesson that I will never forget, and I will not make that same mistake again. So that's the story. That's the the short of the long of that story. So yeah, I'm just glad I didn't give up my goodies and all that for this dude. But I sold out to, everybody makes mistakes. It's like, what do you do after the mistake? And so, I forgave myself. I forgave myself for not listening to the small, still voice. And I forgive myself. I'm about to be 50 years old. This was so many years ago. I never saw him again. Amazing. I never saw him again. So I don't know whatever happened to the guy. But that, I'm telling you, I just had never experienced anything like that in my life before. All because I didn't listen to the small, still voice. Listen to the small, still voice. Pay attention to a person's energy, to their countenance. And everybody can see it except you. But you know it. But you still want to do what you want to do. When you want to do it. How you want to do it. When you want to do it. And why you want to do it. So check your motive. Check your heart. Ask God every day. Examine my heart. All right. I'm out of here. Talk to y'all later. That's...
Sharing my story. It's my story, not his story. When I'm sharing, it's transparent, giving him the glory. I know you got a story, and you ain't got to wait. You never know the difference a conversation makes.